Welcome to Biz Wire. China's new President Xi Jinping is in Moscow on his first foreign trip, emphasizing his country's bond with Russia. It's also where his predecessor Hu Jintao first ventured abroad 10 years ago. While earlier this week, as his first foreign guest, Xi Jinping received U.S. Treasury Secretary Jacob Lew. The two visits, plus Xi's upcoming trip to Africa for a summit with developing markets, shows where the new president puts his administration's priorities. Any new leader's first trip abroad is typically full of symbolism, and Xi Jinping's is telling the world that China is not reliant on the West and has friends in many places. For China, Russian President Vladimir Putin personally can be relied upon to keep an arm's length from Washington and to promote a multipolar world, one not dominated by the United States. So, in some ways, the visit showing Sino-Russian cooperation serves the interest in offsetting American power and influence. The Chinese interpret Obama's rebalancing or pivot to Asia as part of a policy to contain China. For them, showing a working relationship with Russia helps to illustrate that China cannot be contained. The Xi Jinping visit to Moscow may also seek to achieve a new quality of Sino-Russian arms relations, which could include technology transfers and perhaps even joint development of some weapon systems. But above all, the trip is about energy and raw materials, which Russia has and China needs secure supplies of. Trade between China and Russia rose by more than 40% in the last 2 years. In 2010, China replaced Germany as Russia's largest trading partner. China expects a breakthrough in energy talks during Xi Jinping's visit to Moscow, even after Gazprom said negotiations on supplying natural gas remain difficult. Gazprom, the world's biggest natural gas producer, said last month it plans to sign a contract with Sinopec after almost a decade of talks to supply as much as 68 billion cubic meters of gas a year, but negotiations are stuck because of disagreements over price. A pipeline deal largely financed by China would help supply the world's second biggest economy as demand for Russian energy in Europe weakens. Reuters reported that if a broad agreement can be reached, Russia's top crude producer Rosneft will also increase oil exports to China to around 1 million barrels per day by 2018. The oil agreement may also involve loans up to $30 billion for Rosneft, which is in a process of acquiring Anglo-Russian oil company TNK-BP for $55 billion. Russia has been steadily increasing crude exports to Asia at the expense of Europe, with flows due to account to more than 15% of its oil exports this year via pipelines to China and to the Pacific coast. Putin has urged domestic companies to forge closer ties with Asia as demand for energy in Europe, still Russia's largest oil and gas market, has been sluggish due to the ongoing financial crisis there. Rosneft is no stranger to loans for oil deals with China. In 2008, together with state oil pipeline operator Transneft, it secured a $25 billion deal to finance construction of ESPO, which now supplies China and other Asian customers with crude oil.